Okay, this is Peter Duveen again, and actually this is part 2 of a video about a book by, I think it's E.T. Whittaker, who was a well-known mathematician and mathematical physicist, having written several important books in the first half of the 20th century. But the book in question that we're talking about is one he completed in the 1950s. Part of it was like a second edition to his history of electricity and magnetism, but he also included as a volume 2 the history of relativity and quantum mechanics. And having lived during the time when these theories began to be developed, of course his viewpoint is particularly important. And what is interesting is that in his account of the history of relativity, he sort of gives Einstein short shrift. He believes that Lorentz and Poincare were more important in the development of relativity than Einstein. And this is a very controversial matter, and the controversy is still raging today. In fact, as I peruse the internet, there is an article written in November of 2020, not even a year old, about this subject. So what we're going to do today is simply this. I had a recent discussion on the internet with someone who was a great Einstein fan, and he was a great Einstein fan, and he wanted to know what others thought of Einstein, and I said that perhaps too much emphasis was placed on him. And I remembered, of course, this book that I had used, that I had probably pulled out of the garbage somewhere, a treatise on the analytical dynamics of particles in rigid bodies by E.T. Whittaker. And so what I decided to do then finally is get a hold of a copy of Whittaker's book, where he does make these claims for Lorentz and Poincare. I'm sure I'm probably butchering Poincare's name. I don't really know how to pronounce it. But anyway, these two famous scientists were given, shall we say, they're not really, sorry. Today they're not given the credit that Einstein is given, but Whittaker gave them more credit than Einstein in his historical analysis. So now what we're going to do is we're going to actually open this package here, which is a copy of this very famous book. I believe it's a first edition, and I had trouble finding it on the internet, but finally found a book dealer that had a copy. And let's see what happens as we sort of unveil this book. I want to say about Whittaker's book, Analytical Dynamics, that I actually did use his book to get a better understanding of physics, and I was able to at least have some introduction to what is called Lagrangian dynamics, which is I guess a formulation of Newton's system of dynamics to give it a better algebraic formulation. Oh, sorry that the lights went out, but I'll try and put them on when we see this book. I'm now opening this book, and let's see if it just, no, it doesn't. quickly try and snip stuff off here. I want to say that book dealers today are among the great saints of the movement to preserve human culture. They certainly do take care of the books. They know how to take care of books. And let's see if I can light this up again. Here we have, all beautifully wrapped in newspaper, this fantastic book. Look at this, folks. Here it is. It says, The History of the Theory of Aether and Electricity, 1900-1926, by Sir Edmund Whittaker. And let's just look here at the title page, freshly opened. Beautiful book. This volume is entitled The Modern Theories, which means quantum mechanics. This guy Whittaker was an adherent to a theory of the existence of the ether, which was the alleged carrier of electromagnetic waves and I guess other components. Let me just comb my hair a little bit here. And here's this wonderful book, which I've received. What's wonderful about this is it's in practically pristine condition. I did pay $40 for it, but I bet it's worth a lot more. Excuse me here. So I'm very enthusiastic about this. And is there anything else I can say? The book is practically new, amazingly a new, brand new condition, absolutely pristine. I'm sure it's worth quite a bit more than I paid for it. So there I finally have this book, which I was thinking about for many, not years, but several years anyway. At least after what I had done actually is I became curious about the treatise on analytical dynamics, and then I searched the author's name and found out the controversial elements of his career, which persist to this day. So thank you for your time today, and hope to be seeing you again soon.